These are very important elections. It's a real referendum on whether Ken Livingstone has delivered anything for Barnet and Camden. And having been the Assembly member for 8 years, I've seen the damage he has wrought, the overdense development, the failure to improve the Northern Line, the problems with our roads, traffic and congestion. And frankly, he's been bad news for people in Barnet and Camden. I've been fighting him, fighting some of the effects of his policies, and people should vote for me because I intend to support Boris Johnson in very much improving the life of people of North London. I'm reasonably confident. I think it's going to be close, but I think there's a real feeling out there on doorsteps. It's time for a change. This was an American system, this strong executive mayoralty. We should have brought in the American safeguard, which was a 2 terms limit. Ken has done his 2 terms. He's old and tired and increasingly alcohol driven. And really, I think Londoners are looking for a fresh face, fresh ideas, a new, invigorated and a clean out of City Hall.
Okay, and what would you say are the main issues affecting London today?
Clearly, the number one issue is crime and being safe on our streets. When you think that there have been 10 teenagers knifed or shot on the streets of London so far in 2008, it proves how in many areas gang culture in particular is out of control. And Boris, by majoring on law and order and crime, has really hit a nerve. Many of our folk on the doorsteps are really frightened of the way this city is going.
Okay, and can you just tell us about the Olympics? We had a report by the Public Accounts Committee saying that the overspend has now nearly doubled. How do you level that criticism to the incumbent mayor? Has he handled the Olympic situation properly?
Well, Livingstone was up to his neck in the original bid. The original back of an envelope £2 billion quote for when we put our bid in 2005 was frankly bizarre and absurd. And anyone with any common sense knew that, and some of us were saying so at the time. The mayor allowed that bid to go in, we won it, here we are picking up the pieces. I was called every name under the sun when I said I thought the costs would be about £9 billion. We're now told by Tessa Jowell it's £12 billion. We are not going to get away with under £20 billion in my view, at least £20 billion. It'll be London's taxpayers picking up the mistakes of Livingstone, Tessa Jowell and the new Labour politicians who forced us into the Olympic bid.
Okay, and just quickly, in terms of the national standing of the Conservative Party, we now see that there's an 18-point gap being built now by its leader David Cameron. How do you see now the next year with the current government struggling at the moment? What are the major things that the Conservative Party need to do now to win and get into power?
Well, this is clearly a dying, decaying government. We saw it 10 years ago with John Major, sadly. We're seeing it exactly again with Gordon Brown. This government may struggle on for a year, may struggle on for 2 years, but it's clearly falling apart by the week. A new Boris Johnson-run City Hall will be a role model for how a Cameron government can reinvigorate this country and once again take us forward, especially as we head towards an economic recession, made much worse by Gordon Brown's actions, by over-borrowing as a country, as well as tens of millions of individuals. So a remodelled London government under Boris Johnson will be very much urging all voters in Barnet and Camden to vote for Boris Johnson for their first choice for mayor. And if they vote Boris first choice, there is no need at all to use their second preference vote because it simply won't be counted. So just vote Boris Johnson first choice, Brian Coleman to carry on the good work on the Assembly, on the yellow ballot paper, and vote for Conservatives on the list system so that we have a strong Conservative Assembly to support a first-class mayor.
Thank you very much, Brian.